The magic of 7. 7 is a very magical number. It has been for thousands upon thousands of years. Even gamblers use their lucky 7 to be the winner. So I'd like you first to think about the number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How long did it take to count to 7? How long is 7 seconds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first 7 seconds after you're told about a major life-changing event, your mind goes numb. It goes blank. Your mind stops working. The next 7 minutes determine the outcome of all your choices that follow. The next 7 hours is action planning. The next 7 days is putting those actions into play. The next 7 weeks is revising, revamping, and retooling your choices. The next 7 months proves whether or not your intention was to be successful or your intention was to self-sabotage. And the next 7 years, that's the rest of your life. So the process is 7 seconds, 7 minutes, 7 hours, 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years. I'm Sue Rumack, soul coach, parenting coach, and change management coach. I'm also author of The Pulse of Awakening, How to Connect with Soul and Life Purpose. If you're excited about learning more about the use of the magic of 7, please check in at www.PulseOfAwakening.com. You are here because you're curious about how the magic of 7 will improve your life starting today. If after listening to this simple process you want more, then you might also read the handout included with this recording and even do the first of several exercises found in Managing Focus to Get Out of Overwhelm, the home study program, available through PulseOfAwakening.com. If you have questions, please contact me at portalcoach@live.ca, subject line 7. So, let's begin. The magic of 7 is a simple overwhelm management process for when change smacks you in the face, and what you really need is control and a success plan that works. How it applies to overwhelm. If every life event follows the same template, change unexpectedly slaps you in the face. You didn't see it coming, and now you're about to fall into the old patterns of behaviors you have always used when the unexpected happens. You know what your pattern is, and the long and short-term results from these reliable responses. You know what to expect. However, once you become aware of the magic of 7, you have the option of changing old patterns, which result in expected outcome, to engaging a new life behavior. This is managing focus to get out of overwhelm. Here's a scenario. Change has smacked you in the face, the gut, and the backside. In the first 7 seconds, you're numb. Your brain is shut down, you're blind, and in shock. In the first 7 minutes, your mind turns back on with all the worst-case scenarios of what could happen next. This is your first crossroads to change your future by choosing a new, stronger mindset. What you choose in the first 7 minutes determines whether you embrace potential wins that lead to your perfect life or spin you out into shutdown, tune out, and self-sabotage. I know, I've done this, and I'll bet you have too. The next 7 hours is when you play with the options for pulling success out of this imposed disastrous change. Here is where you look at your options, pros and cons, risks and capital assets, resources, and possible action plans to work this change in your best interests. But first you gotta know what your best interests are. And this is where your big picture life vision comes in. Ask yourself, what do I really want? How will my life change when this best result actually happens? What is my life vision? And how will this imposed change alter or direct my life towards this vision? Now we come to the next 7 days. And this is when you test out all your action plans, contact your resources, and begin to work on the timeline goals you set in the first 7 hours. My advice, use what works, discard what doesn't. Remind yourself that this is new territory, needing new actions and courage. Let actions and outcomes prove your strengths and your abilities, but be prepared to discard anything that holds you back. And there's a secret here. Relate this life event, whether it's good or bad or indifferent, to your life vision. See if any new pathways open up. See if any opportunities are appearing to make those changes you previously felt restricted to even consider a new possibility. The next 7 days are crucial to the success of the next 7 weeks, 7 months, and maybe even 7 years. Let's go back to the first 7 hours. This is the time to open your mind, your consciousness, pull together all your resources, and plan for how this unexpected change will be a huge win. Students of Managed Focus to get out of overwhelm use all the worksheets provided to document intentions, use focused action plan sheets to put it all on paper, to talk to people in the most positive terms of a win coming out of this disastrous turn of events. The next 7 months, revise, revisit, revamp until this unexpected disastrous change is the best thing that ever happened to you. Create new trust in how you can move through change to make it an energized place. Use out-of-the-box, new behaviors, new habits, new neural pathways that become second nature. And finally, the next 7 years are magical. Live a better life as a result of what is happening that could have been overwhelming. But you flipped it to its opposite. You flipped it to engagement, and you have created success. So, the magic of 7. Is it magic? It is magic. I used it the first time when my mother was killed by a drunk driver. I came home to find my sister in the arms of my neighbor, and my neighbor telling me that my mother was dead. I unconsciously used the first 7 seconds to still my mind. The next 7 minutes, I chose to be the victor, to take responsibility for my family instead of being the victim of a terrible accident. The next 7 hours, I put together action plans and explored the resources that I had at my disposal. The next 7 days, I started to work those action plans. The next 7 weeks, I proved that some steps worked properly and some didn't. I discarded the ones that didn't. Revising, revamping, discarding. The next 7 months, we began to heal. And the next 7 years, we lived our lives. There is a magic to 7. I used it again when at the age of 23, my husband was told that he had a debilitating disease that would be with him his entire life and eventually make it impossible for him to work. I used it consciously when at the age of 29, in the emergency room, I was told that I might not make it through the night. In the first 7 seconds, my mind went blank. In the first 7 minutes, I chose to live. In the next 7 hours, I breathed until daylight. I breathed in and I breathed out. I made a choice to live. In the next 7 days, I began to heal. In the next 7 weeks, I had to learn to live with a disability. In the next 7 months, I got stronger. In the next 7 years, I lived my life. So is 7 a magic number? Yes, it is. Can anybody use the magic of 7 to turn their life around? Absolutely yes. If you need my help, if you want to learn more about the magic of 7, please email me at portalcoach@live.ca, subject line 7. That's PORTALCOACH at live, LIVE. Thank you for joining me. I'm Sue Rumack, author of The Pulse of Awakening, How to Connect with Soul and Life Purpose. And I look forward to hearing from you in the very near future.